So every time I think there's hope of a bigger channel talking about these issues, right, I get disappointed because it's always the same bland, vague nonsense every time. And I just call this cowardness at this point. So let's get this advert over and done with.
Allow me to pose you a question. Thank you for joining me. Today we have something very important to discuss. I reach out to the development studios, the publishers, and the investors working with these companies to produce video games. Recently, we have seen a number of eye-opening events in the games industry. Now, the reddest of red flags has been raised, and it is vital we observe and understand. A representative of woke and DEI initiatives recently succinctly summarized the values and beliefs of the woke and DEI cult.
So basically, you can't even call it feminists. These are feminists, these are man-haters. They've made it clear ever since Anita Sarkeesian started doing her videos that they're man-haters. And ever since the gaming press has been going after Gamergate with lies, they're man-haters. They're feminist man-haters, and you're using fucking terms like woke and DEI, right? Okay? They're not woke. There's no such fucking thing as woke. Right? Woke is a non-term. It's so fucking vague and used in so many fucking contexts. It doesn't mean anything. And I'm going to quite frankly call you out for using it. If you're not prepared to call out the problem, don't bother. Don't bother doing this. Okay? Okay. Expose. The Whisper Network exists and tries to destroy male comic pros. Many of the women promoting the cancellation of men in comics and demanding they post the recent empty promise known as Comics Pledge are in fact hypocrites. In the article, I'm going to present evidence of lies, collusion, rumour spreading, and in my opinion, defamation and contract interference. These are feminists in the comic industry. They've done the same thing in the comic industry, and the comic industry is basically destroyed now. Right? Marvel Comics is a fucking lifeless husk. A lifeless husk. Yeah? Okay? And this is not DEI. Okay? This is not DEI. Alright? Replacing all comic pros with all women is not DEI. Replacing games developers with all women is not DEI. That's false framing. You're giving into their false framing. So feminists lie and claim they're using DEI to get better representation when they're pushing men out the field. When you complain about DEI, right, you're validating their lies. You should be going, look, all these men are getting pushed out of gaming. More qualified men are getting pushed out to make way for women. Oh, look, women make the vast majority of that company. What's going on here? They're pushing men out. That's the framing. You're using really crap framing when you're so vague and nebulous. Okay, let's get on with this.
This individual identifying as Ray cited their experience as being...
Hey, new folks, I'm Ray. I work in the gaming industry in UX R&D, actual research and development, game production. I work with various software and hardware for Xbox. I now work as an independent media producer and had the privilege of working on the DOTA International's 2003 and other gaming media projects. That looks like a blonde female, from what I can see. Right, I'm going to have to do more research into this. I'm going to cover this subject again, but anyway, let's get on with it. That's why, so when you're a female, attractive female, you're not held to the same scrutiny as a man. So these companies will push out qualified men to make way for unqualified women, right? So what's going to happen, like with the Whisper Network, you get a certain critical mass of feminist women, they take the company over, then they start pushing the men out. That's how it happens every single time. It's happened in movies as well. It's happened in all sorts of fields. Okay?
A game developer and having worked on Ori and the Will of the Wisps, among many other impressive achievements. This was quickly debunked by Thomas Mahler, the director of both Ori titles, in a professional and elegant manner.
I'm the director behind both Ori games. I don't know who you are and how you're affiliated with Ori.
This comes off the back of numerous logical...
And I bet this woman is still hired. She's still in the gaming company because they don't care. Like the feminists she's working with, because the company's probably already infiltrated by feminists, they probably already control this, right? The feminists she's working with, they're not going to go, you lied, let's fire you. No, they're going to go, you're one of us, you're on our side. It's going to be in-group affinity against all known ethics and principles, right? That's what's going on. You're not talking about the dynamics here. You're not pointing to the root of the problem. You're just pointing to symptoms. You're going, right? Okay.
failures from major companies like Sony and Ubisoft, along many others who are producing titles suspiciously lacking in any integrity as commercial products and as forms of entertainment.
So the thing is, characters in video games, when they're male and female on average, when normal game developers make them, they make them for either sex more attractive and more appealing and more interesting. That female character is just so bland, right? Okay. I'm not even talking about the attractiveness level. She's just so bland. She's a nobody, a nothing burger. Because the feminists don't like men, right? So they want to make bland, boring shit on purpose. It's done on purpose. They don't want to make anything that appeals to men because there's a sadistic desire not to make stuff that appeals for men.
This activist, Ray, lashing out at the general public.
Nobody's come to save you. No incels are going to band together to create an immaculately gate-kept industry for you. The existential dread you grapple with has everything to do with the fact that you aren't loved enough and those people find you insufferable. No matter how much muscle mass you grind out at the gym, people will still find you obnoxious and repulsive because you've never learned how to listen to other folks' lived experiences. So this bitch is invalidating our lived experiences, it's calling us subhumans and incels, but we've got to listen to their lived experiences. And you don't listen to their lived experiences because they're psychopaths. The idea of freedom and independence has been sold to you so that you don't feel any internal responsibility to care for or feel interconnected to others within your community. So women who exclude low status men are telling us to be interconnected and take responsibility. Gaslighting. Stop giving yourself psychosis. We're in an incredibly fragile state because not all of us have mental health care, but stop falling from... I think that's coming up now. Sorry, lurking conspiracy theory boards when you don't have support. Oh wait, ladies and guineas gonna carry us for a while. Shout out to the amazing powers indie games devs who took the damn bone. I love you all. What the fuck? So she's just like smearing people's incels. This attractive blonde woman who's got a job in the games industry.
And the game development industry is the perfect representation of the people that
so he doesn't talk about this from a gendered point of view, from the male point of view. He's talking about this in a gender neutral point of view because he's not talking about the real issue. So this is bland, milquetoast, worthless analysis. It doesn't get to the root of the issue. And because we don't get to the root of the issue, we don't raise a consciousness, we don't gain understanding, we don't know what to do about this as a collective in society. So this problem is going to persist, and you're part of the problem, refusing to call it out correctly. Yeah?
Development studio.
This is not woke. This is feminist females attacking men for being men, right? This is sadism. I don't like men. I don't like seeing men enjoy themselves. Let's attack this and destroy this.
And publishers recently have been hiring and gifting vital roles to.
Yeah, because feminists take over the company. They use entryist tactics, and they're taking it over. You're not pointing the fucking problem out.
Any reasonable adult would have enough life experience to understand that lying about your workplace ability and prior achievements is not only unacceptable, but that information will be fact-checked.
Well, they don't care. They're feminists. Right, the feminists, they get away with this all the fucking time. They've been getting away with this since Gamergate. You're not analysing this problem in a long-term way. You're not actually analysing it. Right? You're just pointing it out and saying this is bad. Okay? So, they took over gaming journalism, and then they took over gaming companies, right? They've been doing this over and over again for over a decade in various different fields. They've been doing this for like 20 years at least, right? They did it to the atheist conference scene as well. This has been going on for a very long time, and they've been getting away with it every single time because they gatekeep all the positions of power and influence in society. So they don't have to be adults, they don't have to be grown up, they don't have to be worried about scrutiny, yeah? They can literally drive people to suicide and keep their jobs, right? They're untouchable. And because you as a man don't call the problem out, and because men don't organise correctly and don't push back, they rule over us, okay?
An activist who lacks this
A feminist activist. Look, name calling. You are a dickhead. I don't know who you are. So I think that was the real game developer guy getting attacked by the feminist.
Basic level of maturity will not be an asset in the workplace.
Well, they don't care about being an asset to the workplace. They're locusts. They're out to invade, hijack, take over, and destroy. Out of spite. Right? They don't care. And the worst thing that's going to happen to him is they'll run the company in the ground and they'll just get another job. Or, no, at the very worst, they won't be able to get a job and they'll just shack up with a man and have a relationship with him and still be okay. These women are not even just playing life on easy mode, they're playing life on command console mode, right? They don't need the cheats, they just go straight to the command console of the server and change the game settings.
On the contrary, an activist who lies about his or her abilities and experience will not be able to produce a functional product.
They don't want to produce a functional product. They don't care. They don't care. The externalities, you know that concept, passing the results of your behaviour on to everyone else. They don't care. They're not going to pay the price. In fact, they want to burn it to the ground. Yeah.
And this activist who throws a tantrum and starts fights on the internet like a child on a playground.
She's not throwing a tantrum. She's having a sadistic attack spree. She's getting off on it. She's not going. She's going. Oh yes, yes. She's having fun. She's having fun. Yeah. She's part of the untouchable cast, and she's having her own way. And there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah.
Will not foster a healthy relationship in the working environment with their co-workers, nor...
The mafia doesn't want to foster a healthy work relationship, right? They want to break your legs and take your protection money, right? Okay? It's the same thing. The school bully's not out to foster a healthy relationship in the schoolyard, right? He's there to punch faces in. It's the same thing with these feminists. You're completely baffled by their motive here.
With their target audience.
Like, no other game. Like, it's like random bunch of mentally ill people don't get so much influence. It's not random. It's part of a pattern, and it's systematic, and it's due to feminists networking. A bunch of political ideologues who hate men networking. Don't you get it?
These activists are consumed by priorities and agendas which are...
Firewalk Studio, the studio behind the impending Concord flop, has serious internal issues. One of the devs, Lisa Brown, came out as non-binary and forced everyone at the company to call her Professor. She would regularly have meetings with cheesy phrases like teaching and learning with the Professor. She pushed extreme politics, hated guns, and wanted unvaxxed staff fired. You see, I've noticed they don't. She's probably a raging man-hating feminist, and these right-wing chards, they focus on the hated guns and wanted unvaxxed staff fired, instead of the fact that she's a man-hating feminist. It's like they're trying to filter this out on purpose. They are. They're trying not to focus on the core issue on purpose. They'll focus on anything else but the core issue, right? This is just possible why Concord is such a disastrous mess. I found out a lot more about this studio just waiting confirmation before going public with other stuff. This is feminism in action. She looks like a biological female, but looks like a lesbian to me, a man-hating lesbian.
Are entirely unrelated to the process of video game development.
Well, women take over social circles outside of results. They want to take over social circles for the sake of it. And these women are hostile, high social dominance orientated, high conflict women. And they do this for the sake of it. They practice social sadism, ostracization and bullying against men for the sake of it. That's the end in of itself, right? Everything else is secondary.
Why then are...
And she's pretty as well. It's weird. When her face... She is actually pretty, right? If that's her on the left. She's pretty, she's... Right? On the right one, she looks a bit boyish. Right? But she's not too bad looking on the left. She can land a man. Worst comes to worst, she'll just land a man. Lots of political lesbians give up on their girlfriends and land a high-status man. She'll get a high-status man if she wants one.
Our development studios and public...
You know, even if she's trans, I'm not sure. I don't think she's trans because I can't see an Adam's apple. But even if she's trans, she'll land a man if she wants one, right? Okay.
Publishers hiring these activists en masse to attempt to make video games. Why are these individuals lacking psychological stability allowed to squander millions of your investment capital? Again,
feminist network and take over these companies, right? Right? That's just as simple as that. Oh, I accidentally...
How many activists does it take to pilot an airplane? Let's say you are on an airplane.
You think you're making a point, but you're not. Do you think the feminists care? You think the feminists care? But this is not a plane. They're not going to crash and die. The feminists don't care. They're going to get externalities, right? Even CEOs who are not feminists, they can run corporations into the ground and bail out with a golden parachute. That's how capitalism is actually structured for the upper capitalist classes. They don't take accountability. These feminists, the gender bourgeoisie, because capitalism is feminism and feminism is capitalism. The gender bourgeoisie, they're not going to pay the price for this. Yeah.
Taking a 12-hour flight overseas. Who would you prefer to fly your plane? Two pilots who are trained and experienced to perform the highly specialized job of flying an airplane.
Let's use this analogy, right? There's a plane full of men that the feminists don't like. They're flying the plane. The feminist pilots don't really know how to fly the plane, right? But they've got parachutes. They bail out and let the plane crash, and all the men die, right? That's metaphorically what the feminists are doing. So all the game franchises men love. These are game franchises men love. Men love gaming. They love hardcore gaming. They love AAA gaming, right? They love sexy women, and they love it with heroic men that they can identify with, right? And the feminists are burning this down to the ground out of spite. So men don't get to have sexy women in their franchises, but what women like, right? Romance novels, women's magazines, that's still full of sexy women, right? Do you see what's going on here? It's called spite. It's high social dominance, controlling behaviour for the sake of it. High social dominance orientation. It's sadism. The motive is simple. Stop being baffled by it. Wake up.
Or 1,000 diversity activists who have no idea what they are.
You're calling them diversity activists. Women, women, women. This is very diverse. White women, white women, white women, white women. This is all white women apart from a few. Yeah, white women. How's that diversity? This is false framing. You don't have the courage to go, look, this is all white women. This is not. So you're validating their false diversity narrative, right? It's false framing. It's not diversity, right? It's not. If a bunch of white men came along to a games company full of black people, pushed them out and leveraged them out, and did it in the name of diversity, they wouldn't be called diversity activists. They'd be called racists. And these women, these are feminists. These are feminists, right? And they're networking. My hypothesis is absolutely correct. Women are a danger to men in the workforce. So, oh my God, this is actually status rape of men. This is mass status rape.
They're doing, and throw tantrums when passengers of the plane let their.
No, they're raging out. They're not throwing tantrums. They're raging out. Yeah, they're raging out and having a good time doing it. Right? They're getting off on it.
Voices be heard that the plane is going down.
A tantrum is what a baby does, right? A rage out is what a thug does. So these feminists, they've actually got social power, so they can do social damage to men. So they're not having a tantrum, they're raging out. And men are scared. And you're scared because you're not calling them out. You're not naming the problem.
The general public and core customers of video game products are now keenly aware of the products manufactured by bad faith actors. The general public has no interest in subpar products created by activists who have, time and time again, proven they lack competence and genuine intent.
Yeah, genuine intent. They're saboteurs. But here's the thing. Even if they were competent and they can make decent games, we should not give these women a job on principle, right? Again, go back. All those women there. That alone should be enough for men to go, no, we're not buying this game. I don't care if it's the greatest game ever. I don't care if it's a reincarnation of Street Fighter 2, World Warrior, times 100. Right? Competency is a secondary issue. Right? The main issue is that these are women pushing men out of work. I don't even see black women here. I see like mixed race women there. Spot the black woman. There's one Chinese woman there. But Asian women are just basically white women. On the same height, social strata. Right.
Intent. Activists have no interest in creating products that will earn you return on investment.
Activists don't have any interest in gaming, period, because they're feminists.
As we have seen,
the mafia doesn't have interest in the coffee making, right? They just want to extort the coffee making business. But these feminists are actually worse than the mafia, because the mafia doesn't want to run the business to the ground. They want to take just enough so the company can still survive, right? So the business owner doesn't give up completely and carries on making money. They just want to extract. They want to shave the sheep just enough to keep the business going. These feminists don't care about that. So these are actually worse than the protection racket, right? With a protection racket, your company can still survive. Not these feminist women.
Time and time again, just this year alone, activists manufacture products for
These are not global warming activists. These are not Palestinian activists. These are not Zionist activists. You know, these are not Scottish independent activists, right? These are, you know what I mean? Yeah. What are these? What are these people? Yeah, they're not anti-apartheid activists. Yeah, they're not roundheads, right? They're not Taiwanese independent activists or whatever. I can list what these are feminists. 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 Stop using euphemisms.
serving their own ego. The general public is who you need to purchase the products that you paid to have produced.
A lot of these companies are already taken over by feminists. They're not going to give a shit.
The general public will not purchase video games manufactured by bad faith actors, like what we have seen from companies like Ubisoft and Sony.
It's good this is happening, but the feminists will recover. This is just a minor setback. They'll be on to the next franchise, the next game company, or they'll run that into the ground. Yeah?
It is my
Like, this platform, YouTube, is run by feminists. I can't leave anti-feminist comments, or even neutral comments about feminists, without getting comment removed. I can leave comments about woke, and people can leave comments about woke, right? But people can't talk about feminists. What's going on here?
desire to see your companies flourish and the video game industry thrive. It is entirely your choice whether you want 1,000 activists to fly your plane and lecture you about diversity.
Okay, but again, they're not into diversity, are they? Again, it's white women with a few other minority women and maybe a few gay males every now and again, and maybe some male feminists, heterosexual male feminists, like maybe like 1%. But it's females, isn't it? It's feminist females.
Or 2 pilots whose sole intention is to bring you safely to your destination. I'm Jarrell Dulé. Thank you for your time.
Okay. So the comments. They are all feminists. Have the courage to call them that. Okay. And maybe how blazing openly these people lie and how bad of these people these truly are. Okay. Oh, right. A comment I replied to got removed. Oh, no, I replied to him. Why do you call them woke? I was going to the video owner. Okay, I don't see them talking about feminism being the problem. It's like, you've got to be a juice by now. You've got to have your head in the fucking sand. Where's the anti-feminist comments? You don't even mention feminists once. It's just such milquetoast comments. There's no structural analysis of the problem here, right? The craziest thing is that they've gaslit themselves into thinking they actually made these games and claim that the gamers have given them psychosis. No, they haven't. They're just... What are you on about? Yeah. Such milquetoast comments. These are nothing burger comments. Right? Okay. So yeah, these women are not going away. I'm going to have to do another video on the Whisper Network and feminism and comics. There's a lot to this. It's very depressing to look into this, but I think I'm going to have to focus on this because there's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, over and out.